morning students, standard 9 subject social science and chapter number 1 rise of British rule in India. From this chapter we come to know that how the Britishers become a ruler from the traders. Actually they came to India for the trade purpose and finally they become the ruler. So this entire chapter how they get the power, how the expansion of that power, that we will learn. So before start today's topic, let take a one glance over the last video. So in last video what we have done, we will go through the topic wise. First of all we have talked about that India was having, you can say, cultural or religious inheritance. India is a part of a prosperous economic, or that is why India is known as a golden world, Sone ki chidiya. Then we have talked about that many countries came to India for our economic purpose, or you can say that due to our economic inheritance many countries came to India for the trade purpose. So many countries attracted towards India. The main reason is that Muslim, silk cloth, spices, many more. So due to this they are come or attracted towards our country. But we learn one more thing, that Europeans came to India via sea route, or you can say land route. But that sea route and land route was closed. How it will be happen that why they are not able to live without the Indian spices? So that thing we will also discuss in the last video. Just take a glance on it. For example, here it's a Europe. In between there is a Turkey, or you can say Turkey and India. So European came to India via Turkey, or you can say the Constantinople. So in between that land route and sea route. But in 1453 the Turkish Muslim having the battle in the Constantinople, and the land route and sea route for the European was closed. Now the Europeans cannot live without the spices and commodities of India. So they must have to find the sea route to India. So the discovery began here for the sea route to India. So the king of Portuguese, Prince Henry, given the economic assistance or help to find the sea route to India. So many sailors tried also that, for example, Bartholomew Diaz that we have discussed, he found the Cape of Good Hope, because through the Cape of Good Hope he returned back. Then Christopher Columbus, with the assistant help of King of Spain, Christopher Columbus started his journey, and one more time he was landed on one island. It is called West Indies, which is located in Atlantic Ocean. So throughout his life, Christopher Columbus think about that he has founded the sea route to India, but it was a big mistake. And this big mistake was cleared by the one person, which is called Amerigo Vespucci, and that is why he has given the name America by his own name. After that, finally who found the sea route to India? So that we have discussed Vasco da Gama in 1498. He reached to Calicut port, and at that time King Zamorin was ruling over there. He gave the permission, and now the doors of trade or business for the Europeans was open. So when the Portuguese came, after seeing the success of the Portuguese, the Dutch from the Holland, the Danish from the Denmark, and many more people came to India for the trade purpose. Same way or same thing in 16th century, Queen Elizabeth given the permission to British East India Company to having the trade relations with India. So the first ship of Britishers came into 1608 in Surat, and the captain is Captain William Hawkins. But unfortunately they didn't get the permission, or they don't allow them having the trade relation. But finally the Mughal Emperor Jahangir gave the permission to Britishers to having the trade, or you can say business with our country. And slowly and steadily the Britishers expanded their trading center. First of all they started Surat, Ahmedabad and Bharuch, and finally they were entered into Maharashtra also. But in Maharashtra there was a strong opponents of Maratha people, so they came back or forwardly. At that time French East India Company also came in 1664. Now there would be three Mysore War between 1763 to 1776. Between these 2 years, the three Mysore Wars between French East India Company and British East India Company. And luckily, all these three wars are victorious by the British East India Company, and the French was defeated. So French was, you can say, they having the restricted area up to, you can say, Daman and Goa, and Dutch and Danish live for India forever. That we have discussed. So you got up to that. We have done the revision session. We have completed whatever we have done in the last video. Now our today's topic is two topics we will be having: Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar. So let's begin today's topic. Now students, our today's topic is Battle of Plassey. Now these questions were maybe asked for 3 marks or 4 marks. Understood? So we must have to write this answer point wise, as well as full detail or full explanation is required. So first of all, before we start this Battle of Plassey, I will tell you, I will write here the points, but these points are not, I will write in full sentence. Okay, I will write some of the keywords of the sentence. From that only we can make the entire sentence. Now Battle of Plassey, what happened in Battle of Plassey, that we will discuss. So first of all, Sirajud-Dowlah. Sirajud-Dowlah, the Nawab, or you can say king of Bengal, he was ruling in Bengal, but due to his impulsive nature, he had many opponents in his own state. Now what is the meaning of impulsive? We can say aggressive, cruel, like that. So due to his impulsive nature, he has many opponents in his own state only. Then after, British East India Company, you can say, construct the fortress around the trade centers in Kolkata for the security pretext or for the security reason. Now here, what is the meaning of fortress? One more time. For example, it's a trading center. Understood? So the wall is constructed around that. It is called fortress. Fortress, it means to give a protection to the fort. Understood? Okay. Now here, British East India Company built up a fortress in Kolkata without the permission of Sirajud-Dowlah, or you can say Nawab. Now this thing is didn't like by the Nawab. So I write here the first of all, British East India Company built fortress in Kolkata. Now when British East India Company built a fortress in Kolkata for the security reason. Now without the permission of Nawab, so this thing is didn't like by the Nawab. So in reaction of that, Sirajud-Dowlah destroyed this fortress and burned their ship, which is over there in the sea. So now this news reached to the Chennai. This news reached to Madras, or you can say Chennai, and a small army came to Kolkata, led by the Robert Clive. Now when Sirajud-Dowlah destroyed each and every fortress or wall around that trading center that was cleared by the Sirajud-Dowlah, finally this news reached to the Chennai. So a small army came to Kolkata, led by Robert Clive. Now when they came with a small army, they understand that it's not easy to defeat the army of Nawab, it means Sirajud-Dowlah, because Sirajud-Dowlah has a strong army, or you can say huge army. So not easy to defeat, Nawab's army. Now, not easy to defeat the Nawab's army. So Robert Clive resorted a treachery. It means a one plan how to defeat the Nawab. So they have made the plan. So here I write that plan was done to defeat the Nawab, or you can say Sirajud-Dowla. Now Robert Clive resorted a treachery. I told you that plan. Treachery means plan how to defeat the Nawab. So conspiracy was made, or you can say done, was made to defeat Nawab, in which Commander-in-Chief Mir Jafar and Seth Ami Chand Cox to join. Now, here I have written the entire point that conspiracy was made to defeat the Nawab, in which Commander-in-Chief Mir Jafar and Seth Ami Chand Cox to join. It means in this plan, this Mir Jafar and Seth Ami Chand, they both are the great warriors of the Nawab's army. But unfortunately, they were given the support to the Britishers. So finally, what happened? After that, they were joined to the Britishers. Then, according to plan, the Mir Jafar lost the battle. But before that, we will discuss about that. How, if they were joined and then the Nawab's people unnecessarily harassing the people of that area, then finally the war, or you can say battle, was declared between the Britisher and Sirajud-Dowla's army. Now the battle was declared, and you just see that the battle was done on 23rd of June 1757 AD. The Battle of Plassey was fought on the 23rd June 1757 AD. Now, according to plan, because they both were joining the Britishers, okay, so according to plan, they were lost the battle. So if they were lost the battle, it means what? Sirajud-Dowla was defeated against the Britishers. So Sirajud-Dowla was defeated and this battle was ended in just half a day. Just half a day, because these four peoples, Mir Jafar and Seth Ami Chand, they were joined to the Britishers, because Britishers give them some award and reward secretly, that we will discuss afterwards also. Now, as a result, company got 24 Farganas, and finally the Mir Jafar was made new Nawab of Bengal. So this entire answer you must be remember in such a way that the entire answer you can write in like a story. Understood? So I have written small words. It means only key words that you make the full sentence also. So dear friends, it's a entire detail of, you can say, Battle of Plassey. I hope that you will get the full details. Now our next topic we'll discuss Battle of Buxar. Now students, Battle of Plassey that we have completed. Now after Battle of Plassey was done in 1757. So in Battle of Buxar, it means 1764, after exactly you can say 6 or 7 years, that Battle of Buxar was fought. Now how Battle of Buxar was fought? What is the the reason of Battle of Buxar? So that I have written the points that we need to understand. First one is that the Britishers made the Mir Jafar the Nawab of Bengal and under the pretext tried to extract the plenty of wealth from him. It means, as you all know that at the end of the Battle of Plassey, Siraj-ud-Daulah was defeated. Mir Jafar was made the new Nawab of Bengal. So under the pretext, it means now the Nawab of Bengal was Mir Jafar. So they are trying to extract the plenty of wealth from him. It means the Britishers want to take more and more wealth from our country. So due to their greed to gain the more powers, the East India Company managed to dethrone Mir Jafar and made the Mir Qasim the Nawab of Bengal. It means Mir Jafar made some obstacles. It means the Britishers want more powers. They want, due to their greed, they want more wealth from from our country, from the Battle of Buxar. Now, so they dethrone. New words. Dethrone means what? To remove. So now Mir Jafar was not the Nawab of Bengal. He was dethroned by the Britishers, and the new Nawab of Bengal is Mir Qasim. Who is that? Mir Qasim. So Mir Qasim proved to be more ambitious than the Mir Jafar, and thus he became the threat for the company. It means after become the Nawab, Mir Qasim proved that he was more ambitious. It means he was more curious to having the work towards his own city, own town, etc. So it is the matter of threat for the company because company want more power, more wealth, and the Mir Jafar was not allowed to them. So there was the one more time there is an obstacles was created in the Bengal. Now after that what happened? Hence Mir Qasim was removed and Mir Jafar was made again the Nawab. Look at that, friends. It is an interesting fact. First Mir Jafar was the Nawab. He was dethroned. Mir Qasim was made the new Nawab. Then Mir Qasim was also dethroned. One more time Mir Jafar was become the Nawab of Bengal. So hence Mir Qasim was removed and Mir Jafar was made the Nawab of Bengal. Now Mir Qasim took the refuge with the Nawab of Awadh. So during this time Mughal Emperor Shah Alam had come to Awadh. So all three of them decided to join hands and defeat the company unitedly and thus declare the war. It means Mir Qasim, you just see I have written the word Mir Qasim, then Nawab of Awadh and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam. Emperor Shah Alam. This triangle, they try to make the one unity and to defeat the company. So finally they declare the war. These all people make a united army and they were wants to a battle against the company. This united army of Mir Qasim, Nawab of Awadh and Shah Alam, and they wants to having the battle with the company. So finally the war was declared at the Buxar. Then what happened? Finally at Buxar, the East India Company fought against the United Army on 22nd October 1764. Look at the date. 22nd October 1764. On this day, the Battle of Buxar was fought between United Army UAS, United Army against the Britishers. Now, so in which one more time the United Army was lost. As usual, Siraj-ud-Daulah was lost. Now United Army was also lost. Thus, the company got the Diwani rights. Now, students, what is Diwani rights? You need to understand. Diwani rights means right to collect the revenue. Now the company get the right to collect the revenue. It means what the company want, they will get. They want more wealth. They want more. You can say money. They are greedy people. So now after defeating this United Army, they get what they want exactly. So finally they get the right to collect the revenue from Bengal, Bihar and Odisha, three states. Now you just imagine that how much wealth they have collected from these three states. It's an, you can say, over imagination. So students, today we have completed two topics, Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar. So it will be helpful to you. Both the questions, either it may be asked for 3 marks or 4 marks. Just refer the worksheet and be ready for the test. Thank you.